Hi, it's Wendy from wendybottrell.com, and today we want to talk about the idea how to make big changes by tiny steps. And you've heard the quote, inch by inch, life's a cinch. Yard by yard, life's hard. That's by Bytheway, and that's what we want to do, offer some ideas to make life a cinch. We know that thinking about change by tiny steps is much easier to do, and it allows yourself to win more often. The wins you allow yourself to have keep you inspired and motivated to keep moving forward for the big changes you say you want, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. You know, over 20 years ago when I began to make changes in my life, this is the exact strategy that I used. You see, I had just been called to the hospital because my mother had had an accident which caused her to break her hip and she needed a full hip replacement. As I was in the emergency room with my mother, I knew that night that if I didn't make some drastic changes in my life, I was going to be my mother 20 years down the road. You see, I was over 100 pounds overweight, I had low energy, and I just felt horrible most of the time. Big changes were necessary, and I was the only one that could make those changes. But it did feel a bit daunting that evening. You know, consider this. How many times have you told yourself that you must quit your job and try something else? Or how many times have you paid for a gym membership and yet you haven't set foot in the gym? Well, the truth is, we as humans resist change. We're afraid of the unknown and prefer to be in control. After all, we are creatures of habit, right? What if you could transform your life without actually making big changes? Think of it as a gradual process that you complete at your own pace to win with each tiny change. Here are 6 tiny steps that might help you get started. Number 1 is open up your mind. The first step is to open up your mind and embrace change. Now, we're wired to resist any changes that disrupt our habits, mostly bad habits, and our living patterns. Unless you beat the inertia, you'll never be able to transform your life. You must find your why. Why do you want to make changes? We've written about finding your why many times on our blog because it's that important, and we'll share a couple of our articles in the show notes. Find your why, and then allow the tiny changes you make day in and day out to become the good habits for big change over time. You know, stop caring about what others think. Let's say you want to relocate to a new city, but your friends and your parents disapprove. They keep saying you'll feel alone, have trouble finding work, waste a ton of money. Even the tiniest change has its challenges. However, it isn't a reason to give up. So stop caring what others think of you. It's your life, your decisions, your regrets. Focus on the things that make you happy. Focus on the things that bring you joy. Come up with a plan that will give you the wins for each tiny change, and go for it. Be grateful. You know, no matter how much you want to change your life, be grateful for what you have right now. Find joy in the smallest things, such as a walk in the park or the time spent reading a good book. Gratitude will bring you joy. That will keep you going and boost your inspiration and your motivation. Negative thinking may be holding you back and increase your resistance to change. Celebrate every win of your journey. The bigger your goal, the longer it takes to achieve. However, this shouldn't put you down. On the contrary, take the time to celebrate and enjoy every step of the process. Go out, have fun, share your accomplishment with friends and family, or call a friend and just share it over the phone. Do whatever works for you. The whole point is to be grateful for how you've come. With each win and each tiny step you have along the way. Stick to it. Stick to the changes you've made. Be sure you're not rushing the wins. Make each tiny change a good habit before moving forward. Don't jump from one thing to the next. Be consistent and take small steps towards your goals. For instance, if you start a walking or practicing yoga, do it every single day. If you want to build a business, do something in regards to that on a daily basis. It could be setting up a blog, creating a Facebook page, or connecting with potential clients. So these are some of the tips that we have. We'd love to hear your ideas, how you make big changes for tiny steps and how they've inspired you. Thanks. I'm Wendy Bottrell. We're wendybottrell.com, and we'd love to hear from you. Take care. Bye for now.